Good afternoon to you, everybody. Meteorologist Dontae Jones here in the Dick Goddard Weather Center. Let's talk weather. In case you weren't able to join us at the noon hour, or maybe you did, and maybe we just went a little too quickly for you. Get a chance here now to kind of slow it down a little bit, talk a little more in depth of what we're expecting this Friday, and then as we get you into the weekend as well. So far, we got some rain out there, and I'll show you that in a second. But the weekend doesn't look too bad. Weekend actually looks seasonable for this time of year. Here, let me show you the graphics, kind of show you what I'm talking about. I could just sit here with my face and my mug on the camera, but I'd rather just show you the graphics, what you really want to see. Maybe some of you really want to see me out there, right? Okay, that's a little vain, right? No, I'm joking. So it's a wet and windy day today. A good soaking coming our way, about 1 to 2 inches. One of the models that I'm using, which I think is a little more accurate, shows that some of us could see a little bit more than 2 inches because when I run the model across for you, the guidance really shows a lot of yellows and oranges and some reds, which are some of those heavier rainfall rates. And then we've got some wind too. We got a wind advisory out there, so some winds about 40, maybe 45 miles an hour. So we got one of those days where we could see some ponding on the roadway, some minor flooding, some sporadic power outages, maybe some small trees and limbs down, especially as we get towards the afternoon and evening and overnight when the winds pick up and the heavier rain moves in. This is a pretty strong area of low pressure. We haven't seen this type of strong low pressure since about 1973. And what that means is, you're saying, okay, great, what does that mean? What that means is that all of these gusty winds and heavy rainfalls are more than likely to be a reality with this type of strong low pressure. Luckily, the severe weather is kept down south towards Kentucky and southward. This weekend, not bad. Now, a few morning flurries for Saturday, but we'll give way to sunshine for the afternoon. Partly cloudy skies for Sunday as well. Temperatures both days going to be in the lower to mid 40s, so right around typical for this time of year. Then next week, it just turns unsettled. It's getting colder. We got some rain or rain-snow mix almost every other day. I think Wednesday might be the driest day next week. Every other day from there, it's just cold and wet. There's the flood watch and the wind advisory that I'm talking about. So just a heads up, it's just going to be one of those type of days. Again, 45-mile-an-hour gusts, 1 to 2 inches of rain. There's that area of low pressure. You might see those red boxes pop up here at the end. Those are the tornado watch boxes. Get a little closer towards the center of that low pressure, you get more spin in the atmosphere, so storms that fire up around there have a better chance of rotating. So that's why the tornado watches are down south towards Kentucky and southward. By the time that gets up here, not going to be a concern for us. All right, so northern Ohio view here, just look and see those heavier rainfall rates. That's the satellite. Let me switch it to the radar so we can zoom in and see some of these rates. Over towards Fremont, Sandusky, Norwalk, seeing some heavy rain. So right along 80 here, seeing some heavy rain if you're traveling, if folks are going to be traveling through there, know somebody traveling through there. It's just really heavy. Then we've got, as we get towards Vermilion, maybe a few lighter showers. Over towards Elyria, lighter showers. It gets a little heavier towards Parma, Maple Heights, Bainbridge, seeing some moderate shower activity. Broadview Heights, it's on the lighter side. Head down to Montrose, it's on the moderate side. Near Barberton, it's lighter. Head over towards New London, light showers. Let me scan this out just a little bit. Let's see, over towards Mansfield. I think Mansfield, probably on the southern and western end of town, it's a little bit more moderate, some heavier rain showers there. Towards New Philly, just to the north of New Philly, some moderate shower. Janaida Hutton, like saying that name, some light showers. So you get the picture here. We just scanned this out. So we could see more of these yellows and oranges, and that's what really start to rack up the rainfall totals when we start to see more and more of those as we go throughout the afternoon with this area of low pressure moving by, because it's going to move right to the north, right over us, and it'll be over us in the wee hours of the morning. So expect for the heavy rain to move through here for the afternoon. Usually that heavy rain is on the northern and eastern side of the low, so that'll be in the afternoon and the evening. So once it gets over us, that will move north and east of us. So right now temperatures in 30s and 40s, so it is on the cooler side, but right around where we should be this time of year, give or take a few degrees. So it's not overarchingly cold. The winds are not bad right now, but look over towards Van Wert. They got a 22-mile-an-hour wind. I think our best right now is about 14 miles an hour in Mansfield, or 18 miles an hour in Worcester. But so far, so good. I mean, it's not terrible, but again, it'll become gustier throughout the course of the afternoon. So we've got a 20-mile-an-hour in Ashtabula gust, a gust of 20 in Mansfield, 21 in New Philly. So it's starting to get here. Look over towards 75, I-75. 25, 26-mile-an-hour gusts. So it's going to become gustier. And I think if your trash day is today, just a heads up that if they haven't come in the morning, or maybe your trash day is tomorrow rather, that might be a better, if it's tomorrow and you're looking to set the trash cans out, I mean, I don't know, it's going to be a tough one because we've got these gusts that are going to stick around all evening long and overnight long and not really subside until Saturday afternoon. So you might just want to keep an eye on those. Again, those temperatures throughout the day in the 40s. Here's the futurecast wind gusts. So here's what we're expecting by about the evening rush. Both hands on the steering wheel, because you got a lot of heavy rain falling. You got some ponding on the roadways. You got the gusty winds coming in out of the east at 40, 45 miles an hour. So if you're traveling north and south, you're going to have that crosswind. So, and then you're going to have the rain. So it's really going to be one of those type of evenings where you want to pay attention and stay focused on the roadways. And we continue that even into the overnight. Look at 1 o'clock in the morning. Now you see where that low is right there. So look just north of Cleveland. And so you'll see that area of low pressure right over Lake Erie. So the bulk of the rain will be out of here by the wee hours of the morning because it'll be north and east of that low. And so we'll probably have just maybe a brief rain-snow mix or so into the overnight hours as this low tries to pull out. But the wind direction changes. It's now coming in out of the northwest, but still gusting up to about 45 miles an hour overnight tonight. We get you into Saturday morning, and it starts to subside there Saturday afternoon, and finally just a little breezy. Wind subside even further by the time we head towards Saturday evening. And not a terrible day on Saturday. I'll show you. So here's this afternoon. Look at all the yellows and oranges and reds there by the time the kids get out of school at the evening rush as well. So that's what I'm talking about. You got to pay attention on the roadways this evening. And then by the time we head towards prime time, maybe some folks out to dinner. It's a Friday night, maybe having some fun out, doing things for Friday evening. Finally gets out of here by about 1 o'clock in the morning, switches over to maybe a brief flurry or rain-snow mix before it's all said and done Saturday morning. And then there's Saturday afternoon. We break out with some sunshine Saturday afternoon. The winds subside too, so Saturday in the afternoon might actually turn out to be a pretty decent day. There's overnight, Saturday night and Sunday, right up along the lake here. We may get an extra shower or a rain-snow mix. And then for the afternoon, partly cloudy skies for us on Sunday. So this weekend, that's what I'm saying. It won't be a bad weekend. And there's the 1 to 2 inches there that I'm talking about with the rainfall totals, just depending on where you are. Some outliers could be more than 2 inches at times. So 44 today, rain and wind, staying cool. Those gusts up to about 40, 45 miles an hour at times. Overnight tonight, a brief rain snow mix, chilly and gusty, mid-30s. Then the 8-day forecast, there's the weekend, so that 30% chance and that snow only in the morning. And then the afternoon, partly cloudy, 42. The wind subsides, so it's not as breezy or gusty. 44 for Sunday, partly cloudy skies. So the weekend is good. The weekend, probably the best of the 8 days that we have on here. Go figure, right? Sometimes it's the opposite, where you have these nice days where you're at work and at school, and then the weekend rolls around where you can get outside and play and it's terrible. Or this is the reverse. The weekend's going to be pretty good. By the time we go back to work and school on Monday, the temperature is nice. We're in the mid-50s, but it's rainy. But at least it's only a 30% chance. And then on Tuesday, more rain, cooler but seasonable for this time of year, 43. And then we dry out briefly on Wednesday, 39, so colder, mostly cloudy. And then we turn even colder for Thursday and Friday, where we got a rain-snow mix coming in for Thursday and Friday. And we're only in the 30s, and overnight lows are in the 20s. So, but you know what? It's March. I mean, in March, you kind of get all types of weather. I mean, you can get some warm days and some severe thunderstorms in March. You can get those cold days and snowstorms, or just snow, or just yucky, cruddy rain snow mixed days in March. I mean, you get everything in the month of March. So I'm just really not surprised by this at all. And we really can't complain. If you're like me, those of you who like the warmer stuff, I mean, we've been abnormally warm for December, January, and February. So we really don't have anything to complain about now that March is trying to come in and say, we're going to cool things down a bit. We're going to act like we're still in winter, because we are. We talk about meteorological spring because we just divided into 3 months for ease's sake. You know, December, January, February is winter. March, April, May is spring. June, July, and August for summer. But we know the actual equinox dates and what have you, we won't reach spring until mid to late March, March 20th. So we're still technically in winter, and we're still going to act like it apparently by the time we get into late next week with more snow showers and temperatures in the 30s and overnight lows in the 20s. But it may be that way for a while. Some of our guidance is saying that we're going to start to cool off for a bit of the month of March. So if you like the cooler stuff, you can still head out and ski. I know some of you like the winter sports, so snowboarding, skiing, things like that. That's going to really help you out by the time we get into mid to late next week, where we start to cool things off a bit and start to get more snow showers. And of course, it'll help the ski resorts and make some more snow and what have you. So if you're still trying to get that in, you're saying, look, Dontae, we didn't have much of a winter. I mean, the ski resorts opened late. They weren't open at times that they should have been because it's just been so doggone warm. We're trying to make up for it in the month of March for you to at least get that last gasp of your winter sports out there. I know Jen Harcher, she's a big fan of skiing and everything, and golfing too. I mean, she really likes the seasons, but she loves snow and a lot of it. So, if you're like Jen Harcher and you're trying to get those days of your winter sports in, we're trying to help you out for the month of March, but we'll see what we can get. All right, so I am going to, it's 118, about to be 119. So I'm going to update the forecast. I'm going to record a clickable. I know if you like to, kind of keep the app handy and kind of look at the clickables to get updated on the forecast, I'll record a new clickable. I'll update and refresh in the web, and then start to forecasting for the evening shows when my colleagues and my cronies, my road dogs, Mackenzie Bart and Andre Burney are joining me for the evening shows here. So I'll get that updated and everything. So got a lot of work to do here in the next 2.5 hours before I see you again on the TV side at 4 o'clock. All right, everybody, take it easy. Have a great afternoon and have a great weekend.